The Void and the Council of Olodumare. Before time had a name and the earth knew the warmth of the sun, there was only a vast void. The sky and the ocean faced each other without limits, two eternal forces locked in a silent embrace. In the celestial heights reigned Olodumare, the supreme god, who held within himself the power of destiny, life, and creation. For eons, Olodumare contemplated that formless abyss until he felt a profound impulse: the universe must be filled with life. To carry out such a monumental task, he summoned the Orishas, the divine beings who govern the forces of nature. They all gathered in the great hall of eternal light. The heavens trembled at the presence of Obatalá, the Orisha of purity and wisdom, Shango, the god of thunder and war, Yomoja, the mother of the seas, and other majestic beings who bore the balance of the cosmos. With a voice that echoed like 1,000 thunders, Olodumare proclaimed, "It is time to create the world. We need land, mountains, rivers, and creatures to walk beneath the sky. Obatalá, I entrust this mission to you." Obatalá, dressed in a white robe that shone like clouds at dawn, knelt before the supreme god. "I will fulfill your will, Father of all existence." Olodumare gave him 3 sacred objects: a bag of divine soil, a 5-fingered hen, and a palm seed. He also gave him a golden chain, long enough to descend from the sky to the edge of the abyss. "With these elements, you will shape the earth. But remember, creation requires patience and purity of heart." Obatalá solemnly nodded, ready to carry out the great task. The journey to the abyss. Obatalá descended along the golden chain, each link shining like stars in the vastness of the cosmos. The wind whistled around him as the dark abyss approached. With each step downward, the bag of sacred soil pulsed with pure energy. Finally, he reached the edge of the infinite ocean. The dark waters churned beneath his feet, waiting to be transformed. "Here begins creation," Obatalá said firmly. He opened the bag of soil and scattered its contents over the water. Instantly, the land began to expand, forming islands, hills, and plains. Then he released the 5-fingered hen, which began to scratch the soil frantically. Wherever it scratched, valleys, hills, and mountains formed. Obatalá took the palm seed and planted it in the center of the newly formed land. Within seconds, a majestic tree sprouted, its leaves swaying in the wind. The creation of humanity. With the land formed and vegetation growing, Obatalá felt that the world needed beings to inhabit that paradise. On top of a hill, he collected white clay and began to mold human figures. With love and patience, he shaped them: round heads, strong arms, firm legs. Each figure was a work of art worthy of the gods. As he walked, the heat of the day became unbearable. Sweat dripped from his face, and his tongue felt dry. Seeking relief, he found a vessel of palm wine that had been left under the shade of the tree he planted. Without thinking, he drank deeply from the sweet liquor. The wine warmed his thoughts and clouded his judgment. With unsteady hands, he continued molding human figures, but now some had irregular shapes, twisted arms, uneven heads, shorter legs. When he finished his task, Obatalá fell into a deep sleep, surrounded by the figures he had created. Olodumare's judgment. The next day, Olodumare descended to inspect Obatalá's work. He observed the perfect figures and also those with deformities. Although he knew what had happened, his heart was filled with understanding. "You have fulfilled your mission, Obatalá," Olodumare said, "but the palm wine led you astray from perfection. However, in my creation, there are no mistakes. Each being, with their virtues and differences, has a divine purpose. Obatalá, ashamed, knelt. I have failed in my task. I swear never to drink palm wine again and to protect those born from my imperfection. Olodumare placed his hands on Obatalà's shoulders. Your promise is noble. From this day forward, you shall be the protector of people with disabilities. They are part of the sacred diversity of the world. The end of creation and the birth of destiny. Olodumare breathed divine life into the figures molded by Obatalá, giving them life. The first humans opened their eyes and beheld the beauty of the world. Then, Olodumare summoned the Orishas and assigned each one a task. Shango would control fire and thunder, Imoja would protect the seas, Ocean would guide the fresh waters, and Obatalá would watch over justice and inclusion. With the world full of life, Olodumare returned to the celestial heights, leaving the Orishas as guardians of the universe. From that day, the Yoruba remember the story of creation as a hymn to diversity, acceptance, and purity of heart. And so, the world began its eternal cycle, guided by the divine hands of the Orishas.